Hello, today is the 11th of June 2025. So, yeah, I think I do have quite a bit to say for today's video, because there's various things in my mind and various things that were in my mind the last couple of days. So this is basically just like an update video for myself as well, because it just really helps me to see where I'm at and how I'm doing currently, and often it helps me to regain perspective when I'm just talking and making videos. So that's the aim for this video, to basically just kind of see where I'm at and how I'm doing. I'd say like, yeah, in the past while anyway, I've had like a lot of ups and downs, and then the downs were pretty down and then the ups were very good. Like I've really been like, yeah, been going up and down a lot. So there have been days that were like so nice, where at the end of the day I was like really proud of myself, feeling good about myself, thinking like I've got this, I'm, on track, I can do this. And then there's other days where I kind of feel really shit about myself and think in a really negative way and in a catastrophic way, and kind of I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is this really bad now? Like, am I doing really bad? And that's obviously those are like very catastrophic thoughts and questions to ask yourself, like, am I doing bad? But for some reason, like, yeah, I've been thinking in a bit of a catastrophic way, or like a very negative in the past while whenever I do have downs. Like the goods, like I said, there's, very little negative things when I'm feeling good. I don't think about the negatives. But then when I am feeling negative or I'm thinking negative, it is very much like I'm doing really bad, or like, is this gonna cause me to fall really depressed again? Will I want to commit suicide? Like, stuff like that, like very much down thoughts. Yeah. So yeah, what I've been noticing in the past while as well, honestly, like since yesterday, I've not been feeling that way anymore as much. But I have noticed the last 2 or 3 weeks, where I was here in Spain alone as well, that I've been very indecisive, like especially the past week, and very much like fidgeting all the time, like finding it hard to just be calm and concentrate on one thing. I know this has got to do with the fact that I'm telling myself I should do more, or I should be doing something, or I shouldn't be watching movies, or I should be doing something more productive with my life. So those are kind of the cause of it, and also because I guess I don't want to think about negative stuff. So whenever I notice those thoughts coming up, I want to like do something to get out of it or distract myself. What it was like was basically when I would, for example, in the evening time, want to watch a movie, that's what I do every evening, just watch a movie and calm down, before I go to bed. But then I'd have a really hard time deciding what movie I would want to watch, then put on a movie, but then decide to put on a different one, and then not really be into that, so put on another one, or then put on a series. Or when I would have a movie playing, I'd be noticing that, I'm getting up to grab something else to eat or get another drink. I would go at my phone, I would watch YouTube more than I'd usually ever do, or I would, text with my sister, or not really be able to concentrate on the movie, but more think about other things, or, sit in a different way, then lie down and then sit back up again. So like I was really fidgety all the time and not very calm and centered in myself. And also having a hard time deciding. And then because of like, I think everything, because I wasn't calm in my mind, I was more forgetful. I noticed as well, like I was forgetting some things that, I'd usually not forget, or, like, I don't know, I'd have everything ready to go shopping, and then I'd go outside and then notice, oh, I still have my sunglasses inside the house, and then go back. Like, that's just an example that didn't actually happen, but something like that, which would usually not happen. But then I noticed, wow, I'm a bit more forgetful yet, or I had maybe 3 things planned for the day, and then by the end of the day I'd be like, oh wait, I didn't even do 1 or 2 of the things that I had planned for today. I just completely was not in my mind anymore. So yeah, that's been going on. But what has helped me with that now especially is to really see, I don't need to go at my phone. So when I noticed I was reaching out for my phone, I'd be like, okay, just wait another 5 minutes and then you're allowed to go at your phone. And then I'd be like, okay, now you can watch something on your phone on YouTube for 20 minutes. So just give me some time so that I'm not completely consumed by what's going on in YouTube or something. And then also be just telling myself I don't need that, it's okay, I can concentrate on the movie. Just trying to calm myself down. And then, yeah, having more moments of silence as well, where I'd, for example, not take my phone with me and go onto the roof terrace, just not have anything with me, just a glass of water, and sit there and look at the sky, or sit there and watch the swallows flying around. Just moments, just even if it's 2 or 3 minutes of just doing absolutely nothing. That, I think, has really helped me as well to come back to myself, feel more grounded, because usually I'd always be doing something. I would seldom just be sitting there, drinking a glass of water. Usually I would always work on the Thrive program, or have a Thrive program video playing in the background, or some music on, or watching something on my phone, or eating something, or something like that. And because everything just felt a bit I'm not very calm, I just took a few moments in between always of just not doing anything at all, and just being with myself. And I think that really helped me to come back to myself. Okay, so that's kind of the roundup of what the past couple of weeks have been looking like in me. Obviously there have been ups and downs, and I made videos about them. And then the next more catastrophic thing I would like to talk about is basically today is Wednesday, and Monday evening my friend Mario here from Spain, he texted me that his dog was being put down the next morning. And his dog had cancer now for a couple of weeks, and they did chemo and everything, but it didn't work, and he was kind of getting worse. He still kind of enjoyed things that he was doing, but then apparently at the weekend he got much worse, and Mario was actually on holidays, but his sister apparently told him that he's, the dog is not doing good, and they decided to put him down. Now, I haven't actually spoken properly with Mario about this. I've just been kind of supportive, just saying are you okay? Take your time. I'm here if you want to chat. But we haven't properly spoken, so I don't know what the process was like. I just know, it happened, and the dog passed away now. And that evening, when he told me, basically, it was a kind of a shock. I honestly got a shock to my system. I noticed before that I had a really lovely day. My whole day I was actually feeling really good about myself, and I was thinking in a good way. And then I read that message, and I kind of felt shock. And then I was trying to obviously I was first there for him, and also then trying to tell myself at the same time it's okay, you can relax, it's all gonna be good, it's all gonna be fine. And it's just saying those sort of things to myself. But then again, I fell back into that belief of thinking oh, I can't stop thinking about it, or I'm not gonna be able to handle that if that would ever happen to our dog, or that I will not be okay. Or I was just brooding about the fact that I I believe I can't handle something, and then that I won't be able to manage my thinking and I won't be able to stop brooding about something. So I fell back into that sort of stupid thought pattern. And then I was like, okay, so when you're brooding, you need to get out of your mind. So I was like, okay, right now I'm gonna stop whatever I'm doing and I'm gonna do something completely different, which was watching an interview with Lily Reinhardt, because she is my like new celebrity like idol or crush or whatever. I can really relate to her in a lot of ways. So I watched that and it was really lovely, and I honestly noticed that really got me out of my mind. I like was completely concentrated on something else, but afterwards I again was like, oh, will I be able to manage my thinking? Will I be able to handle it? And then that really plagued kind of everything, because then I fell back into thinking negatively. So I was again thinking negatively about everything, being like, I don't know what I want to do with my life, and what I feel like I can't handle stuff, and like as if I'm weak and as if I'm going to become depressed again, and then, you know, things like that, like really catastrophic. I tried some things that I knew would usually help me, you know, calming myself down by having a positive and kind voice, or watching funny videos, or imagining being in a place where I'm like free and happy and I feel in control of my life and I feel like I can handle things, like imagining myself like that, like the version I want to be. Yeah, and then one thing that really helped me regain perspective when I was lying in bed and couldn't really fall asleep, but realizing I'm not seeing reality. Because I learned already, and I knew this already for a long time, like when you're emotional and when you're in a blip, so you've kind of lost perspective and you're so focused on one thing, or you feel really, you know, down and negative, or you feel powerless. Basically, when you're in a blip like that, it just means you cannot see reality right now. You're not seeing reality. And that helped me so much to notice, okay, so what I'm experiencing, what I'm feeling isn't actually like real, because I'm not seeing the full perspective. I'm not actually seeing reality. If I would see reality, I would feel completely different. I would feel much more centered in myself. I would know I can handle things, whatever. Reality would look different. When you're emotional and stressed and whatever, you can't see the full perspective, because your perspective is just, it's just not there anymore. It's just focused on, you know, other things. So to tell myself and to realize, like, I'm not seeing reality right now, I'm not seeing the full perspective, that really helped me to see, like, my thoughts aren't facts, my feelings aren't facts, it's not the full truth. And that really helped me. But then I had a hard time falling asleep, because I was like, again, in that stupid same thought pattern, like, I can't stop brooding, I need to think about this, and, you know, but I feel like I shouldn't, then beating myself up that I'm not stopping the brooding, and like really a stupid cycle. Then what I did was actually put on a video from Rob Kelly, from the Thrive program, where he was just, you know, speaking about stuff. And why I did that was because I always noticed, like, whenever I do watch a video from the Thrive program, his voice alone already helps to create the feeling of like just calmness and peace in me. Like, I could really fall asleep to like listening to his voice any day. And so I really then asked myself, okay, what can I do to make this experience easier for me? What can I do so that I can try and fall asleep? So I really just put on a video and listened to his voice, and within a couple of minutes I was asleep. So that worked. And the next morning, yeah, I would say like I was fine, and I was like telling myself, look, I'm really excited to you know, see my mom because my mom was coming over and I was going to collect her from the airport. So I was kind of like telling myself, look, you were really excited that she's coming over and you still are. So focus on that. Your mom is coming over. You're going to go and collect her. Like, you're excited to listen to music in the car. It's going to be lovely. And it's okay. Like, it's understandable that you have some negative thoughts now. You know, your best friend's dog is being put down and it's a hard thing, you know, but you need to also see that it's his journey as well. It's not yours, so don't take on his emotions and things like that. So I was talking kind to myself and I was actively trying to change my language from being negative and catastrophic to being more helpful and calm. Yeah, and I'd say it worked to some extent, like definitely to some extent. And what I've also been doing since a few days is in the morning, immediately when I wake up, like while I'm still like half asleep, I immediately list 3 things that I'm proud of about myself and about what I've done, and 3 things that I'm looking forward to that day or in the near future. Because that really helps to set the mood for the day, basically. There's things that you are looking forward to and it makes you want to get up out of bed more. Instead, if you're so focused on all the negative things and the things you did shit, then who wants to get out of bed? Like, so instead, seeing some things that you're so proud of about yourself and then some things you're looking forward to. So you're like, yes, I want to do this. I want to get up. So that has honestly, very much helped me to set the mood for the day. But anyway, that morning I was still, quite upset because of the dog, and I also teared up in between. And I met this dog as well a few times, and I was thinking about my friend a lot, obviously, because we had many phone calls already in the past, few weeks and months where he was very upset and crying as well. And, I've just been there throughout the whole journey as well to some, extent, and just seeing how my friend is kind of, suffering or really upset and stuff like that. So I was thinking about him a lot. And then obviously, thinking about if that were ever to happen to me and I'm feeling like very powerless in relation to it, I'm thinking like, oh my God, will I be able to handle that? Like what, how am I able to like live on without my dog? Like that's something I definitely need to work on, because life does go on and you can live without them, but she's such a major part in my life. Like my dog, it just seems to me so difficult to be okay without her, basically. So it's definitely something I need to and want to work on. But anyway, so there was those things going on, and that was yesterday. And the whole day yesterday, it kept coming back into my mind, and I kept feeling, powerless in relation to it, because I was asking myself, how am I supposed to handle that if that were ever to happen to me? And I wasn't really super aware of that thought, but I was just feeling like, and I was imagining like, what if, that happened to me? How would that look? Yeah, but I did collect my mom from the airport, and I don't think I created any anxiety about the drive, or if I did, I definitely calmed myself down by having a positive voice, and that's obviously still something I'm very much working on. And honestly, like, my activeness in that sense has definitely increased. Like, I'm much more active now in trying to reduce my negative thinking and making it more positive or more like powerful. So whenever I do notice I'm creating negative thoughts and thinking negatively, I then really actively am like, okay, let's change it. How can I say basically the same thing but in a positive way, that like I know I'm gonna be okay, and in a more helpful way that's gonna help me through the process instead of making it harder for me. So I really actively try to change my language. So I did enjoy the drive. Obviously I still kind of felt upset, and I knew there was something going on, but honestly it was fine. Like I really liked listening to music and was excited to see my mom, and I teared up once during the drive as well because I was so excited to see her. And I did miss my family. Like, now the 3 weeks that I was here, it was a bit more difficult for me. Like, it was a weird 3 weeks, honestly, and that's why also there's some fear thoughts like, you know, am I getting worse? Like, am I really becoming depressed? Because the 3 weeks now have been so weird, and the downs have been like lower and lower each time, I feel like. So yeah, it's just a bit like scary, but yeah, there is definitely ways to manage your emotions and your thinking, and it can all be learned. So that's obviously what I'm working on. And nothing is happening to me, it's all just my own thoughts and emotions. So once I really manage them and change them, I'll be as free as a bird. So then I arrived at the airport and Mom and me were together, and what happened there was that the car was like beeping because the coolant, or it was like running out, so running low, so we had to stop at a petrol station off of the motorway. But honestly, like, I have to say, I stayed pretty calm, or when I noticed I was starting to stress, I was then saying to myself, it's all going to be okay, stay calm, like there's really no need to feel stressed, like it doesn't help, you know, it's not helpful, so it's all good, and you know, it's very unlikely that anything bad is going to happen, and the petrol station is close enough, and you know, just stay calm. So like, yeah, that was really nice. And then when we were at the petrol station as well, I got me and Mom a coffee, so I like went into the coffee shop that was there as well, and you know, just ordered us a coffee and was like not socially anxious, and I just did it without like thinking, without brooding about it. Like, I just did it. And then honestly, I had one moment where I was holding my coffee, and then I was standing beside our car, Mom was sitting in the car, and I just kind of looked around, and there was some like grass or some flowers on the ground, and I just looked at it, and then I smiled because I was like, look, like where I am, and how nothing is happening to me, how like, yeah, we ran into a small like problem or inconvenience, but I'm not making a problem out of it. I'm not making myself suffer through it. I'm like here, and it's so nice. My mom is here, and the sun is shining, and we're dealing with this, and I'm a great driver, and I've, you know, managed everything so far. And yeah, it was like a moment of like just peace, and a moment where I really liked where I was, and I just smiled. Like, I just smiled, and yeah, it lasted for a few seconds only, like that intense moment, but then I could feel that playing out for a lot longer, like for another couple of hours. I could feel how something in me was just fine. It was just like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm okay. And I was in a good mood, and I was just happy my mom was there, and we were both in a good mood and just chatting about various things. And I was so proud I was able to drive with her as well without being like anxious, or without constantly doubting myself or being like, oh, my mom's there and stuff. No, like, I drove completely fine, and we arrived home. And then I also cooked for us, like, you know, is pretty unusual because I don't like cooking, first of all, and in our family, like, it's usually Mom who cooks, or when she's working then Dad cooks. Like, me, Amy and Alana, me and my sisters, we never really have to cook, which I'm very grateful for as well. I kind of let her relax a bit, and I did the cooking. And then it was really nice because for some reason Mom kept complimenting me yesterday about various things, which was so nice to see though. So she was on the phone with my family, and she then showed how I was cooking. She was like, look, she's cooking for me and everything, and she collected me from the airport, and like she's doing, look at everything that's being done for me. So that was really, really sweet. And she complimented me, I think 3 or 4 times about like the dress I was wearing, that it like really suited me and that it's so pretty and stuff. That was so nice as well. And how I felt comfortable in a dress that was tighter and like cut lower as well, which, you know, a couple months ago I would not have ever worn because I felt too uncomfortable. And now I was just like not even thinking about it and just wearing it. We ate basically, and that's when I was gonna say something attacked me, but nothing actually attacked me. It was my own thoughts, where I was more focused on something scary instead of being like, it's all gonna be fine. So basically, it's about the topic of needles for some reason. Me and Mom were talking about how she got some blood extracted, so she got some blood taken, and she now has like a bruise there because it was really done properly, but obviously she wasn't in any pain, or the experience was like fine obviously. But for some reason then my mind linked that to how some people are afraid of needles and how some people really don't like it. And then I was like, what if I become afraid of needles? And then I imagined, you know, a needle going into someone's body, and I imagined it feeling really gross and uncomfortable, and I imagined not being able to handle it. And my whole life I am not afraid of needles. Like, never did I have a problem with them whatsoever. I was always the one who was really confident around them, much more than my sisters or any classmates when we got injections in the school. Like, I was always the one who was like, I'll go up first, I'll be fine. Like, always. Like, I always looked away because I preferred doing that. I just always looked away when the doctors, you know, injected me, but I never created any fear around needles, never. So in that moment, I think it was more the thought of like, what if I become afraid of needles and won't be able to handle that fear? That's what I was afraid of, not actually the needles themselves. But then first when that fear popped into my mind, my whole body felt kind of like, oh my God, this is so bad, this is so bad. Like, for a millisecond, like everything in my body felt dark and like kind of on the verge of a panic attack, like that sort of feeling, as if like everything just falls off of you and you like just fall into this moment of intense awareness. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah. So it was like on the verge of that, and I immediately then stopped myself. I was immediately like, look, no, wait, stop. You're not afraid of needles. You never were. You know needles aren't a big deal. You know that this is just your thoughts, you know, creating that fear. But, you know, needles themselves are not scary. It's not a scary thing. And even if it feels a bit uncomfortable, it is bearable. Like, it's not unbearable. Like, it's, you know, it's just the thoughts. And as soon as, yeah, you regulate those emotions, like, you'll be fine and stuff like that. So that helped, because then actually for a while I then stopped thinking about it, and I like stopped myself from having a panic attack. But then after a while again, I went back to thinking about that. I went back to thinking like, girl, what happened there? Like, why was I so like afraid of needles there for a second? Like, will I be afraid of needles now? Will I create a phobia around that? Will I not be able to handle it? Yeah, and then I kept, you know, seeing not very nice images of needles. Then again, I like, you know, calmed myself down, and I kept kind of forgetting about it in between. And then I was more focused on, you know, I'm gonna get back to that needle story as well. But first then I was focused on the fact like that I was on the couch and I was watching Outer Banks. And then I told myself, you're not doing any work today. Like, you should work, there's people out there that always need to work. The same thing again, I think I mentioned in at least 1 or 2 videos before this. Like, feeling bad about the fact that I have like free time, that I can design my day the way I want to, that I can create whatever I want to in my day. The fact, you know, I wasn't focusing on the fact that I worked yesterday, I worked the day before, that I do work, I do my videos, I do my website, my YouTube channel, I write scenes, or I read through, you know, oh my god, like I'm doing work. But the fact that I'm not in a 9-to-5 job from Monday to Friday, I feel guilty about that, because other people have to do it. So I feel guilty that I don't have to do it. And then I'm like, what if at some point I will have to do it, and then feel like I can't handle it and I can't escape and I'm stuck and I hate it so much and my life is just miserable. You know, that sort of thing. And then I felt really guilty for watching something and lying on the couch and relaxing. I felt guilty for that. And I was like, you should do some work. But then I was like, no, it wouldn't be the right thing to go work now, because then I'm running away from the thoughts instead of challenging them and seeing like, do I really need to feel bad about not working? Because I don't even want it any other way. I don't want, you know, if I really wanted a job, I could go out and get one. It's as simple as that. But I'm actually happy with what I'm doing. And yes, I would actually like to do something, like if it's 1 or 2 days a week, something, especially with animals. But I'm not upset about the fact that I don't have a job, you know, that's not it. I think I am believing that I need to feel guilty for the fact that I have so much free time, or can do basically what I want, can work when I want, when other people have to go and do stuff. So yeah, then at some point the thoughts got so like negative. I then felt so shitty about myself again. It really pulled down my entire mood, which was actually good throughout the whole day before that. But then from that moment on, I felt so shitty, and I was really feeling down about myself, and again thinking negatively about everything, then about my whole life. I was then like, what am I doing with my life? What do I want to do with my life? I feel like I'm wasting my life. I'm wasting my time. I'm, you know, oh my god, so catastrophic then again. And really everything I saw was just negative. So then at some point I just went upstairs to mom and I worked on the Thrive program a bit. That helped a small bit. And then at some point in mom and my conversation, I mentioned the fact that I'm kind of feeling guilty about the fact that I'm not working, or not, you know, the thing is I am working. It's just I also have a lot of free time if I choose to do so, if I choose to have free time. That's what I love, that's what I want, like, and I want to be paid for that, you know. I would love to have this job that I'm doing now, which is, you know, writing whenever I want to, editing videos whenever I want to, making videos whenever I want to. I love that. And I want that to, you know, be my job, and then also be paid for it. Yeah, what was I getting at? Yeah, I just mentioned that. And mom asked me then, like, okay, so you're feeling bad about not having a 9-to-5 job? I was like, no, I don't really want that, but I'm feeling bad because I'm comparing to other people. And she was like, comparing to those people that are unemployed and in pubs drinking. I was like, no, not to those people, but to the people that have to work 9-to-5. She was like, yeah, because they're so happy. And I said, yeah, that's exactly it. They're not. They or, you know, a lot of them. I'm comparing to the people that are not happy in a 9-to-5 job, and they have to do it, and I'm just allowed to be like as free as I am, and I feel like I should be doing something. And so then I just said, yeah, that's exactly it. I feel guilty that those people have to do it and I'm just allowed to be free. And then I'm asking myself, what if I have to do a job at some point, you know, and really hate it? She was like, why would you have to? Like, no, You don't have to. And if you do, then you'll manage it, because you'll have to manage it then, and you can regulate your emotions and your thoughts. And that's still something I'm having a hard time believing, that I'm actually in control of regulating my thoughts and my emotions. I think once I really realize that I am in control of my emotions and my thoughts, I will feel so powerful, because I will then be like, I can literally do anything. And as long as I regulate my emotions and my thoughts, then the thing won't affect me, and I'll actually maybe be able to enjoy it. Or if I don't enjoy it, then I won't feel like I'm struggling, because I am in control of my emotions. So I don't need to feel like I'm struggling. I don't need to, because I'm in control of that. So I'm still having a hard time believing that often. So yeah, but basically Mom went on to saying like, yeah, you and your sisters, you all want to be kind of self-employed. You all don't really want to have a boss that tells you what to do. You all don't really want to work 9 to 5. You want to have free time. You want to decide yourselves when you work and what you do. So all of you can, really focus on building that for yourselves. If it's like a YouTube channel, a website, whatever it is, you can really put your heads together, build that for yourself so that you can earn money with that and build the life that you want. And yeah, it might take a while, but then, that's the good thing about living with Mom and Dad, because they're giving us that space where we can build what we want to. And if we're not earning money with it yet, they're basically okay with that, because they want us to do what we really desire doing in our lives. And when she kind of said that and spoke about that, I really realized like, yeah, I can really build the life that I want. Like, I don't need to do anything I don't want to do. I can build a life that I want, which means like making YouTube videos, these ones, and then also with my sisters, that we are a team and we create something. And there are influencers out there, obviously, that have built the life they wanted through making the content they wanted and stuff like that. So it is possible, and I can do that, and I can, at the end of the day, earn money with that as well. It can be my job. It can really be my job, that this is my job and I earn money with this, and that there's nothing else I need to do. Like that really, like I can really build that. And that was the first time I really noticed like, yeah. And so I don't need to do a different job that I don't want to do, or I don't need to be like other people that have a 9 to 5 job. And I don't need to feel guilty about that, because I can build the life that I want and create the stuff that I want and earn money that way. And that was so nice to see, like, yeah, I can really make it happen. I can earn money this way as well. So that was really nice, seeing I can, build the life I want. And then it goes back to the needle story. So then I went for a shower and found myself lying on the couch again, just relaxing a bit, but also working on the Thrive program some more. So I watched the black and white thinking video, because I noticed I was thinking very negatively, and if it feels really negative where you almost can't see any positive, it means you're thinking in a black way. So black and white. And I watched that video, and that video has helped me every single time, because I obviously have the black and white thinking style, and then everything seems black and everything feels bad. So then, realizing the way I'm seeing it is not the full truth. I'm seeing it in a black way, looking through lenses instead of seeing the reality. I don't need to feel bad about myself, things like that. But, yeah, I was feeling really shit. And then again, I had very catastrophic thoughts about like suicide and not being able to handle things. And then I really as well, when I was lying on the couch, I really also remembered many thoughts I had in my depression, which I don't know if I can even recall it now, but because I was experiencing a similar moment yesterday of kind of a bit of like despair or whatever, that's why I easily remembered what it was like for me in my depression, where I really just couldn't see a point in living anymore. And I really felt like my life is so horrible. Like, I really genuinely believed my life is horrible. My parents are horrible. School is horrible. There's nothing I enjoy. There's nothing I love. I'm never gonna make it out. This is the truth of my situation. You know, really stuff like that. So yeah, that obviously kind of scared me a bit yesterday and freaked me out. I was like, wait, am I really thinking that way again? Like, wait, I don't want to think that way again. I don't want to feel that way again. I don't want to feel so powerless, as if like my life is happening to me and I just need to live with it and there's nothing I can do. So I was quite like scared, and then again thinking about the needle thing, and I was like, am I really gonna get a phobia of that? I was like, I don't want that. I don't want a phobia. I don't want to live that way again, because I already had some sort of phobia before about like sexuality, sex. I felt so uncomfortable in my own body, wanted to hide and really wanted to disappear. You know, I really didn't want to be seen anymore by anyone. I really wanted to become invisible. Yeah, so I did have some sort of phobia before. I was like, I don't want to live that way again. I don't, you know, I feel like I don't, you know, I know that phobias feel like they're ruining your life, as if you're always focused on that and brooding on that, and it's plaguing everything in your life. It's like so horrible to live like that. And then obviously I also then kept trying to, you know, have this kind voice saying like, you're not, you know, you're not going to create it. And even, you know, it is in your hands if you create it or not. It doesn't happen. Phobias don't happen to you. It's the way you're thinking. So if you stop brooding, if you focus on the positives, if you notice everything you made it out of before as well, then you're not going to create that phobia. Then I was like, okay, instead of imagining, you know, a needle grossly going into someone's body, maybe imagine how I'm, you know, blood is being taken from me, for example, or I'm getting an injection, and how I'm completely calm and I'm not scared at all, and I'm not focusing on the needle, but I'm focusing on something lovely, standing under a rainbow, for example. Just like, you know, and not everyone is afraid of needles, which means needles themselves aren't actually scary, because if they truly were, then everyone would be afraid of them. They're not, and not everyone is. So, you know, there was things I told myself where I definitely kind of regained perspective, but I still didn't feel like I was out of it. I still felt like, oh my God, what if I get a phobia of that? And what was that moment at the dinner table where I had a sudden moment of like fear, you know, or on the verge of a panic attack, or I don't know. I was obviously thinking, and I was noticing, yeah, I'm obviously brooding about this, which again doesn't help. Brooding has never gotten me anywhere. Brooding leads you into a trap where you just really feel like there's nothing you can do anymore. And so I was like, I'm going to stop. I'm not, you know, I don't want to brood anymore. I don't want to brood because it's actually not going to help me in any sort of way. And then what really helped me regain a lot of perspective, and where I really felt like, okay, now I'm kind of in control again, is realizing and noticing that I'm only afraid of something, whether it's needles or showing my body or emetophobia, like fear of getting sick. I'm only afraid of something when I feel like I can't handle my emotions towards it. If I feel like I can handle my emotions when I'm like sick or getting sick, then you wouldn't be afraid of it. Because you know you can handle your emotions, you know that you can manage them, you can control them, you can keep them calm and centered. So first of all, realizing that, and then noticing I am the one who is in control of my emotions. That's what the Thrive program is about, learning how to manage your emotions. And that is something you can learn. That's what all these people who went through the Thrive program learned, to manage their emotions, to stay calm. So that means, like, I'm not actually afraid of needles, and I never will be afraid of needles. That's just what people associate it with, but you're not. You're afraid of not being able to manage your emotions. Once you notice you are the one who can manage them, and once you learn how to do so, your fear is instantly gone. It ceases to exist, because you are the one who stops feeling afraid, who stops yourself from feeling afraid. Yeah, so that helped me immensely. And then from then on, it kind of went, like, it got better and better. Obviously, I was still kind of like, what was that? Like, does this have a significant meaning? Does this mean in the future I'm gonna get worse and worse? You know, I was still kind of like cautious of what I was doing and how I was feeling and what I was thinking. But from then on, I honestly was like, oh my God, you know, all these worries that I have, they're so useless. They're literally useless. They don't get you where you want to go at all. They don't help you create the life that you want. So why worry? Why? Like, really, why? Like, there's no need. Yeah, and I kind of teared up then as well, because I noticed, oh my God, I'm feeling safe again. And I was telling myself, like, I'm safe, I'm here, nothing's happening to me, it's all okay. So I really felt kind of soothed, and everything seemed much more possible then. And I know it's all about perspective. Like, you just, in one moment you see like, oh, I can't handle this, and another moment you do, because it's just, you're thinking differently, you just have a different perspective. But, you know, it's never about reality. It's never a fact. It's just the way you are thinking. So think in a positive, powerful way, and that's the way you're gonna feel, and your life's gonna play out that way then. It's really all just about the way you're thinking. It's never a fact. So, yeah. But again, I still need to realize that I am really in control of my emotions and thoughts, but a lot of the time I still don't feel that way, or I'm really doubting it. I feel like they're happening to me and I can't stop them. I can't control them. But yeah, I'm learning that. Yeah, so then at some point I went upstairs to my mom and we sat on the roof terrace again with a nice drink. And then honestly, I just recovered basically from this, but I felt very calm and relaxed, and I was looking at the swallows and at the sky, and I was noticing my mom is there, and I was very happy she was there. And I noticed as well, I was kind of anticipating a breakdown for when mom was here, because I felt like, because the last 2 weeks or something, I felt a lot of the time quite powerless, and I really wanted someone to comfort me or to be with me. So then I was like, oh, once mom is there, I just want to cry in her arms. Like, I'm just, you know, I kind of anticipated that. But yeah, then I noticed, look, I freaking pulled myself out of it. So when I was then lying there and looking at the swallows and kind of relaxing, I was noticing everything's good, it's all okay, it's all gonna be fine. And then I actually processed the day. I was then like, wow, look at everything I achieved and everything I did, and how proud I can be of myself and how capable I am. And before that, I just didn't see it because I was so focused on that needle fear, which is so weird. And I'm noticing, like, I'm not afraid of it right now because I'm just not brooding about it. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not catastrophizing it. That's why I'm not afraid. So if I keep the thinking that way, if I keep thinking, not in a catastrophic way and not brooding about it, then I won't create a fear of needles either. So yeah, it's so weird, but like I said, I then processed the whole day, and then I felt much better about myself, and my confidence was much higher then as well, noticing I've got this. And me and mom watched a really nice movie together that evening as well, The Last Song, which I watched a few times now already. And that was really nice because I love movies, and it was just a lovely moment. And then, yeah, I got another compliment from Mom because we came onto the topic of like if I'm introverted or extroverted, because Mario's sister, who I met like 2 weeks ago, she said that she would perceive me as an extroverted person, but not someone that's like really loud and like saying everything that's on their mind, or, you know, nothing like that. But she said, I guess that I'm confident maybe, because to me always extroverted people were just confident people. Introverted people in my eyes were always just people that weren't confident in themselves. And I always felt like I'm not a very confident person. Even though if I look at some things in my life, I'm like, wow, I was so confident, like I was so strong. But I always felt like, no, I'm like shy, or I don't know what to say, or are people, you know, judging me, or yeah, I always doubted myself. So that's why I was like, yeah, no one else is going to perceive me as extroverted. But Mom was like, no, like even the people, the customers in the shop that I worked in, it's always kind of the same customers. Mom said like a lot of them really loved me and really liked me and are still asking how I'm doing. Mom and me worked in the same shop, and how, you know, they are perceiving me as an extroverted, confident person. And I then realized, yeah, true, because not everyone sees what's going on inside of me. So they might have just thought, okay, she's a quiet person and doesn't talk very much, but she's still confident. You know, some confident people are still quiet. But I always thought, no, because I'm quiet and not saying so much, they're gonna know like I'm introverted. And because in my own mind, I was constantly doubting myself and focusing so much on myself, that's why I felt like I'm introverted. I really genuinely never would have thought that anyone would perceive me as an extroverted person. But it was so interesting, so nice to see that, like, yeah, other people see me differently than the way I see myself. And they don't see what's going on in me. They just see what I'm projecting outwards. So they don't know that I'm not confident, you know, or don't feel that way, because technically I guess I am a pretty confident person, honestly, if I look at myself. But I just never really felt that way. I never perceived myself that way. And yeah, Mom was just like, yeah, you just have a really lovely way of communicating with people. Like, you're so good at being kind and talking really just nicely with people. She was like, you have a really good way of communicating with people, and you know how to handle people, and you know, anyone who really met you always perceived you as a really lovely person, that it's like it's easy to be around you and easy. Yeah, I don't know, it's like she gave me so many compliments as well, which was just so lovely, like, to see. So that's the update, I think, for today. Pretty sure that's all. So obviously I'm going to keep I'm going to keep going and learning and build the life that I want, and stop feeling shit about myself, because it does not help. It does not get me anywhere. I really don't need to. And yeah, I think it's all just a process, a learning. It's all about the way you're thinking about it, and it's the way you're looking at it. It's not reality, not based on reality, 1%. It's just the way you are thinking about it, just the way you're perceiving it, and that can change within a second. Like, I noticed, look at all the changes in perception I made yesterday. Like, in one moment I was feeling shit about myself, another moment I felt like I can create the life I want. Then I was panicking about getting a fear of needles, and then I noticed it's all in my control, like the way I am thinking and what I'm feeling. So if I regulate them, fears vanished. Like, see at all these different perspectives. It's really all about just regaining a perspective and feeling in control and feeling like everything's possible and you're confident. and then you can manage everything. Like, all about perspective. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, keep going, don't give up. You've got this. And the way you're perceiving reality is not the truth. If you're in any way feeling negative, in any way brooding, you don't have the full perspective. You don't see reality. It's not the truth right now. Yeah, thank you for watching. Bye. Oh, and I also just remembered another bigger thing which helped me regain perspective in the evening, like when I was lying on the couch, was I saw, first of all, I know that when you're feeling down, it helps to do something or watch something that you love, or look back at a time where you were feeling really powerful and happy. So basically I went through my camera roll and looked at my liked pictures, and I found one from the year 2023, February, and I never rewatched that video. It's like 5 minutes long. It's one that I made. And then I watched it yesterday, and it was actually really helpful. Like, it was really, like, perfectly suited for what I was thinking currently, like how my thoughts worked and how thoughts work in general. So I could put that in here as well. Ego is the man-made sense of self. It's the man-made sense of self. That's what ego is. And basically, ego is your thoughts, because what isn't in this moment is your thoughts. The thoughts keep pulling you out of this moment. And this moment right here is presence, which is what you really are. The existence in this moment. That's what you really are. And the thoughts are basically the only thing that keep pulling you out of this moment, which means the thoughts are ego. And the ego is a man-made sense of self, which means that the thoughts are something we basically made up due to us thinking of future or of past, even if it's in the subconscious, but we're basically thinking of future or of past, and they do not exist in this moment, which means it's not real. Basically, we're building up an illusion in this moment because past and future do not exist in the here and now. And then if we're not thinking of future or of past, and we're basically standing on a wall right now, and then we get scared that we're going to fall off the wall, first of all, that's thinking of a future because we're not currently falling off the wall. But also it's just basically making up something in this moment because it's not happening. It's not actually here. We're just making it up to be in this moment, but it's not. So that's why thoughts are basically not real. They're just illusions, and they make up illusions to seem like they are in this moment, but they're actually not. And then also, yeah, like I said, it's a man-made sense of self, which Eckhart Tolle, that's the sentence Eckhart Tolle used. And that means basically, yeah, we made it up ourselves. And it also shows that it's not us, it's us who made it. But no, that's also not true, because the real us is presence, is this moment. But our thoughts made that up. And our thoughts are made of things that we saw or heard or felt or whatever in the past. That's what our thoughts are made of, everything that we experienced in the past. And that's why different people have different fears, they get hurt by different things. It's because they all have a different past. They all have a different, life they went through, different years they went through, different experiences they went through. And that's why they also have different thoughts and get affected differently. That's what makes us all basically different. Our ego is somehow different, but also the same. It's an illusion, building up illusions. And what we all truly are is presence, because the definition I would give to presence is the existence in this moment. And what we all do, or what we all are, is existing in this moment, which means we are presence. And in presence, there's never anything negative. There's never any pain or fear or any such thing. Presence right now in this moment is basically when you go beyond thought, when you step over thought, when you get through thought. That's where presence lies, which is just this moment. And thought is what brings you out of presence, keeps pulling you out of this moment. And basically what I would say what this moment is when you are totally feeling peaceful inside because you're going beyond thought, and there just lies total stillness, total presence, just being in this moment, existing in this moment. That's presence. And that's what we are. We are existing in this moment, so we are presence. And when we feel our existence in this moment, that's when we feel our presence. That's when we are our true selves, and that never feels negative. That's always positive, and it only feels negative when you think at the same time, when you think of something or whatever. And that's basically what creates an illusion then, because thoughts are either from past or from future, or they're just thinking of something that isn't actually here in this moment.